For more on this, let's bring in the New South Wales Minister for Agriculture, Tara Moriarty, who has been standing by, and we thank you for your patience because you were meant to be on a little while ago and the Prime Minister's news conference did occur. Just on the prospect of the fire ants spreading well into New South Wales, obviously there's a human factor that you're trying to stop, but the problem is these ants can fly up to 5 kilometres or float down rivers. Is there any real hope? Are you confident you can stop them spreading into your state?
We're very serious about stopping them from coming into New South Wales. They are a really significant threat to human health, to livestock. They attack crops and they are a significant threat to our ability to trade. We're working with our Queensland counterparts and the Queensland Government to make sure that they are contained inside of Queensland. We do not want these ants in New South Wales. I've got a program rolling out now that's an additional $80 million to stop them from coming into New South Wales, and I'm working in with a national response to make sure that they don't cross the border.
And that's going to be something that has to be set up permanently. How do you do that via a program, given the ants can move themselves, and obviously they don't really respect borders?
They do, so they don't, that's correct. So we've got a control order in place that we implemented over the weekend. They were found roughly around 5 k's from the New South Wales border, which is a little too close for comfort for me and for the New South Wales Government. So we've put a control order in place to make sure that soils, mulch, hay, other materials like that can't be moved from the last place, within 5 k's of the last place that they were found outside of the containment zone in Queensland without being checked. The materials have to be checked by Queensland authorities. So we do have checks in place to make sure that they can't cross through out of those containment zones. And we've also rolled out this $80 million package to make sure that we've got information and education flowing on the New South Wales side of the border so people know what to look for, so councils know what to look for. We'll be having signs up. We've got a social media campaign. We want people to keep an eye out for these critters in New South Wales so that we can kill them on site.
Yeah. So a lot of that is the human control, as I mentioned. The ants can fly 5 kilometres. So just to explain why you're still hopeful they won't get to New South Wales, because that's so close, is the hope that you stop the spread for now and then they can be eradicated from places nearby? Is that feasible with these ants, that you could actually push back their closest location, if you like?
It is feasible, and that's certainly the plan. So we want, first of all, for them to be contained in Queensland. So we're working with the Queensland Government to make sure that that's the case. And my department is ready with plans to go if they do manage to cross the border. You're right, they can travel quite quickly. They can also move in water. So that's why the containment zone matters. We're making sure we're working with industry, with farmers, with landowners. We have to do this in a coordinated way with people on the New South Wales side of the border and also the Queensland side of the border to make sure that they can't spread into New South Wales and into the rest of Australia.
So for all you say around determination to sort the situation out, when ministers met with the federal minister to try to thrash out a new funding plan, because we've lived with fire ants in Australia since 2001, there was unable to be agreement. What happened there?
It was discussed at the Agriculture Ministers' meeting a week or so ago, and there is a commitment to the national policy of eradication of these ants. Thankfully, at the moment, they're contained in Queensland, and Queensland are certainly doing their bit to make sure it stays that way, but they are a little too close to comfort for New South Wales, which is why the New South Wales Government have acted, and I've acted as Minister to deliver an $80 million package. That's in addition to the $15 million that was already allocated to deal with these ants. We're bringing that forward from now over the next 4 years to make sure that we can keep them out of the state. There is a national commitment to work within a national framework to make sure that these ants can't spread, and I'll be working with my counterparts across the state and with the Commonwealth to make sure that happens.
So what happened though with that not actually coming to fruition last time? Was it a debate around money and who pays for it?
No, there's a commitment from all of my colleagues and all the states around Australia and the Commonwealth to be able to manage this issue. I acknowledge that states have their own budget processes to go through. Because this is such a threat to New South Wales, we've managed to deal with this quickly. The new government's very focused on making sure we keep these ants out. So I've managed to get this $80 million package up and ready to go. And I know the other states are committed to doing that. They've got to work through their budget processes to find that money. I'll work with them on that.
So just... Yeah, because the idea or the plan is still, I believe, for this hundreds, I think it's $300 million a year to eradicate the outbreak of these fire ants, but the funding agreement is going to end soon on that. So is that right now the crux of the issue, that there is an agreement on who pays for what for that plan?
Certainly working with Commonwealth Government and my state counterparts to make sure that the money is available as they work through their budget processes to do that. But because these ants are so close to the New South Wales border, we're acting. So working with the states and the Commonwealth to make sure the money is found. But in New South Wales, we've found the money and we are acting immediately because we do not want these ants here in New South Wales.
So you're saying you found the money, the federal government needs to come to the party?
Working with the federal government to make sure that happens. We do have national plans and a national eradication program in place, and I'm working with them on that. But we're moving ahead. We need to stop them from coming into New South Wales.
Yeah, so you've put that extra money in, but the federal government for now hasn't agreed to what you would think and other states think would be a fair share?
I'm certainly encouraging the Commonwealth to work with us, and I'm working with them. The New South Wales government's working with the Commonwealth on that.
Yeah, cool. I think reading between the lines, there's some encouragement. Perhaps they haven't agreed to it yet. You can take that as my analysis of that. What would living with fire ants mean if that was the reality? You mentioned trade partners, so it obviously have an impact on our own crops, wildlife, people as well through anaphylactic shock. But would it also mean some of our products would either have extra screening or not be accepted in other countries?
Yeah, that's the risk. So in addition to human health and the fact that they attack livestock and can chew through mechanical and electrical wiring, they will affect our ability to trade with other countries who are keeping a close eye on how we're managing this issue. We've got to keep them out of the rest of the country and keep them contained in New South Wales so that we can keep those trade restrictions away and make sure we can trade properly with the rest of the world.
Minister, appreciate your time today. Thank you.